Hello and welcome. I am Exilite and this is my channel. Occasionally, from time to time, I like to repost a story that is farther back in the pages of my channel. I hope that doing this gives new subscribers a chance to hear some of my older work. And for those of you who have been here for a long time, perhaps you will enjoy hearing this story again. I chose this story because I happen to like it very much, and I hope that you do as well. If you are not subscribed and you would like to be, please go ahead and do that. And also, please go ahead and like this video right now. If you change your mind, you can always unclick it. And if you'd like to be notified of my content the second it's uploaded, please click that bell. I would appreciate that. This is a story that many amateur ghost hunters have heard told. It has fallen into legend, really, to the point where most no longer even know what's true and what is legend. It's like a game of telephone where the details are sometimes lost and sometimes added. This is true of most stories involving hauntings and serial killings, and of things that just can't really be explained. The real detail is sometimes too horrifying to retell, or maybe even too unbelievable to be considered the truth. Some versions of the story end with a gunshot being heard, and some with a man's voice. Some end in a more terrifying manner. A manner so horrific that it cannot be believed, lest the listener be unable to sleep at night. So, if you are someone who is unable to sleep at night when faced with the details of horror and death, then you may want to not listen to this story, which is the true and real version of the events that took place. I know, because I watched it on live stream. So there was a YouTuber, and he was an amateur ghost hunter. His name was Teddy Reagan. And one night he posted that he was doing a live stream. I think it was in October, I think. Anyway, this is my version of the way it all happened. So it was dark. He had a flashlight and his camera. He started chatting a bit. No real information at first. If you've ever seen a live stream, people sort of just talk before anything happens because they're waiting for people to go ahead and join the stream. So at one point, he said that he had 150 people on, and he began to tell us where he was. Hey guys, thanks for coming on to see me. I think you're going to like this one. I'm in Pelham Bay Park, which is in New York, where you guys know I live. I mean, New York, not the park. So, what we're going to do is some exploring. I'm alone out here, so it's just me and 1 to 200 of my closest internet friends. Let me explain to those of you who don't know. Pelham Park has been the location of at least 65 known body dumps and murder locations. Back in the days of the mobsters, people would be brought out here to, well, lose them, so to speak. In the early 90s, it became widely known as a place where people would come out to do animal sacrifices and satanic worship and shit. The cops all knew about it, and they would question people who were leaving the park at night. One night, it said that 2 guys were coming out of the park, and they were covered in blood when the cops stopped them. The cops figured that they had been doing something with animal sacrifices. Both guys said that they weren't and that they wouldn't find any dead animals. So that didn't really explain where the blood came from, but the police let them go. And when the police went into the woods, they did find something. There was not an animal, but they did find a dead body, and they had let those 2 guys go already. The police were known to kind of let the sacrifices go because they weren't hurting humans. And back then, the city had a lot bigger problems with, mob murders and burglaries and stuff. So, since the 1980s, bodies have been discovered here quite regularly. So, okay, why this spot, you ask yourselves? Go ahead and ask yourself. Well, the remote location, which happens to be very dark because of the trees, it makes for a really quick and easy body dump. And what's weird is that it's also about 100 feet from a very busy highway. But because the woods are so thick, people don't see anyone in here. And if you're on the freeway or highway, you can just park your car at night when no one's around, and within 100 feet, you have a body dump. There was a cop assigned to the case once who said that he started to wonder if the weird things that happened here with the animal sacrifices and it being such a huge place for body dumps was because of the history of the land here. And if you don't know, this particular part of the park, this land, used to be the favorite burial ground of the Lenape Indians. So it does kind of seem like it's maybe not a coincidence that it also attracts satanic worshippers and killers and such. And then it's rich in the blood of not only the people that were buried here on this sacred land, but of also the people who were killed here. And this is one scary place at night. So Teddy had been in his car for that part of the stream. But then he turned it off and he turned on his flashlight and he had his camera out and his camera was faced towards him. He got out of the car and he started walking and you could hear some twigs, some leaves beneath his feet. Other than that, though, it was like a really eerie silence in these really dense, dark woods. And there were strangely shaped shadows being cast from Teddy's flashlight off of the trees and the bushes, and it really added to the creepy ambience of this video. It really felt scary. Teddy started walking towards a tree and he was shining his light on it. Okay, I think this is the place. There was a sign on the ground next to it that had warned about going to the woods, and this is the sign. So, from my internet detective work, it looks like this is the tree where they found the decomposed body of Kenneth Zappa, who was, at the time, a well-known mob hitman. His cause of death was determined to be 2 shots to the back of the head, and then his tongue was cut out, which the police have said, and probably anybody that's ever watched a mob movie knows that that's usually done to send a message that, they don't like snitches. So, here's the crime scene picture, and I'm going to hold it up in front of this tree so we can kind of line it up and to make sure that this is the place. Then he proceeded to walk further into the woods. Okay, so supposedly 20 feet just off to the right is a small white cross. So let's go see if we can find that. Behind him, the wind started to pick up a little bit, and it really added a mysterious whirring noise, I guess you'd call it, in the background. The trees started swaying a little bit, and their shadows were, well, they looked like dancing skeletons. dancing to a song that we couldn't hear. The leaves were crunching under the weight of his feet. Here, here it is. There were small bundles of silk flowers resting next to this white cross as Teddy put his flashlight and shone on it. The color of the flowers were really faded, and on top of it was this weathered birthday card. You could see where it had balloons and a clown, but it was sort of in a state of decay, almost rotting on top of these flowers. Let me see if I can see what's written on the cross real quick. I'll just brush off this dirt. And isn't it creepy as hell to see these rotting flowers and this rotting card on top of these flowers? Because, it was probably once really colorful, just rotting on top of these dirty silk flowers. I guess that probably no one's been out here for years. Anyway, it reads, Pamela Hicks, 20 years, 4 months, and 2 days, taken by pure evil. The wind began to pick up a little bit more. Yep, this is it. This is where the body of Pam was found. She was half buried under a pile of leaves. She had been missing for 15 days. There were 2 guys arrested for the crime, and they admitted that apparently they had been into Satan worship and some other really weird crap. But they never confessed to killing Pam, even though one of her shoes was found in their trunk. Pam's mom died 1 year later. She had been in perfect health, according to her sister, but then she died in her sleep from a heart attack. Her mom said it was because her heart was broken. Wow, this is really creeping me out. Can you even imagine being out here and alone, scared in this dark, wooded area, not knowing what was going to happen, or, gosh, maybe even worse, knowing what was going to happen? And keep in mind, there are like 63 other bodies buried right around the spot, and who knows, an Indian burial ground. Lots of bodies could be buried out here. This is one of the most highly sacred places, and it was being disturbed by such evil. Blood spilled onto that land, and holy cow, did you hear that coyote howl? Oh my God. Okay, I'm going to look around here with my flashlight for a second just to be sure. I almost peed my pants. Wait. Whoa. What the? Hey. Hello? Listen, guys, did you see that? I think I saw someone over there. Look. There. Right behind that tree. Then, of course, the feed started going nuts. There was, Teddy, get back in your car. Teddy, run. Teddy, this is too real, man. Teddy, go back in the day or something. Teddy, this isn't funny. All right, guys, all right. Let's take a deep breath. There's one more spot I want to show you guys, and then I'll go ahead and go. Teddy started walking, and you could see the camera bouncing along with the light of the flashlight. You could hear the crisp leaves under his feet. Okay, so this is where it said that a body was dumped from a different location. Apparently there was a big turf war thing going on between the mobsters. One guy was supposedly caught in the home of another, like really high up mobster guy. He was supposed to have been there to kill this guy. That's how the story goes. And obviously he was caught. So the paper said that he had been brought out here a few hundred yards from where I am now, and then dragged over here after he was killed They said that he was probably made to kneel, I guess, you know, in the ways that mobsters do. Um, Imagine on your knees out in this, and I'm gonna bring my camera around and show you guys how thick this is out here. It's completely dark. It's really eerily quiet, even though it's 100 feet from a busy highway, and you're on your knees and you're begging for your life. It's so spooky out. And then the feeds start going crazy again. Oh my God, Teddy, there's something behind you. And then I saw it too. Go. Dude, I'm not here to see you get killed on a live stream. And what'd you guys see? And then Teddy began searching with his flashlight. I think I'm gonna head out now, guys. Maybe I'm a big baby. I think coming during the day is gonna be a better idea after all. And then the crunching of the leaves. Hello? Hey, this isn't funny. Come on. Is this one of you guys? Did you guys come out to scare me? And then the live feeds. Teddy, just run. Go, Teddy. And his flashlight caught a pair of eyes. We could see it on the camera. White eyes. Even I typed in right then, Teddy, this is too spooky. Maybe it's just a coyote or something, but either way, please, go to your car. Yeah, listen, I'm going to go and I'm going to call it a night. You could hear him pick up his pace, and his flashlight was really rocking from right to left, and he was dodging the trees. I think it's following me. I think it's following me, guys. I'm really running. And then the feeds again. Hurry, Teddy. Man, this stuff isn't worth it, dude. You're giving me heart failure. Teddy, run. I'm gonna run, guys. I'm gonna put the camera down. And then he must have put the camera in the palm of his hand because we couldn't see anything anymore. It was pitch black. All we could hear were the sounds of the twigs crunching and snapping and the leaves. I'm almost to my car. It's right there. It's going to be all right, guys. And just then, his camera dropped to the ground and the loud thump came with it. And the live streamers were, Teddy, are you okay? Hey, dude. Teddy, ouch, man. That sounded painful. Are you all right? And then there were the people joking, keep running, Forrest. But there was nothing. There was no response back. And then we heard it. A noise like, I can't even explain it. I've never heard anything like it before or since then, thank God. And it was this deep, rumbling, almost growlish voice thing. And then the screams. Teddy was screaming for help. He was begging for whatever or whoever it was to stop and please let him go. He was saying, my camera's on. People know I'm here. Just let me go. He was really pleading. And then the feeds were asking Teddy, what's happening? Is this fake? What's happening? Someone call 911. Call 911. Hurry. Teddy, bro, you okay? And then the screams. The word scream can't even describe what the noises were that were coming from Teddy. From deep within him, these agony, pure horror and pain. There was no more begging. But he called out for his mom. I swear I heard it. I swear I heard this grown man call out for his mom. I was stunned, in shock. I couldn't type another word, but the feeds were still going nuts. There was, oh my God, is he okay? And did anyone call 911? And someone saying that they had called Teddy. And then there was the next and final shot from his camera. It is horrifying. I don't know what it was, but I'll never forget it. I'll never stop seeing it in my nightmares. And I'll never go to Pelham Bay Park. And you shouldn't either.